Hello, everybody. This is Ryan Lisk of Lisk Associates. And in this brief video, I want to introduce you to your Style Insights report. So if you are using a management staff, maybe a team building, there are different versions of Style Insights. They're mostly going to have the same information on them. What I want to do is take you through 6 exercises. While my full Style Insights report had 26 pages to it, I want to take you through 6 pages that most everybody has in their Style Insights report. And this video is not designed to have you go through the graphs and the disc and the descriptors and things like that. This is all going to be looking at the what I call the DIY thought starters, where you're going to have mainly bullet lists that are going to help you. And what you're going to help, what this report's designed to help you with are understanding your communication style, your behavioral style, your how you communicate, how you get your tasks done. Once you start to realize your own particular style, you're going to look around and see that other styles aren't like you. Other people aren't wired like you are to communicate the same way. They don't get tasks done the same way that you do. And then part 3 of this, or level 3, is what adjustments or what tweaks are you going to make to get better results from the people that aren't the same as you? So, in other words, you're going to have to adapt your style to get a better result. And we affectionately describe that as going from the golden rule of communication, communicate with others the way I like to be communicated with, to in 2021, I like to call this the platinum rule, communicate with others the way they want to be communicated with. So, without further ado, let's take a look at some of these exercises that are going to be in your report. The reports are going to start off. You may have a title page in there, you may have a table of contents, but the first section of information is called behavioral characteristics, or yours may say general characteristics. But everybody has 3 paragraphs here, and all the paragraphs have different writing to them based on how you answered the questions, right? You remember you answered the questions: I am most like this, I am least like this. And I usually ask you to answer those as they apply to you at work or on the court if you're an athlete taking this. And so um, you end up getting your natural style and your on the court style. The behavioral characteristics are written on your natural style. So what I want you to do as you read the 3 paragraphs is I want you to put a check mark by statements that sound like you agree with those, basically. Put an X by statements that you don't agree with. And then there may be a handful of statements, or maybe not even a handful, maybe 1 or 2 question marks. I call those things that make you say, hmm. Now, I know better than to say that everybody is going to be a 10 out of 10 on this. I hope that there's maybe a statement or 2 you disagree with. If you're a 10 out of 10, that's fine too. But we say, is this report 100% true? The answer is yes, no, and maybe. At the end of reading the behavioral characteristics section, I want you to answer this on a scale of 1 to 10. 1, that's nothing like me, and a 10, that's me spot on. What number would you give it? And then my follow on question would be just a quick thought on why did you give it the score you did? Right. So as you're doing the prep work for whether you're coming into a workshop, maybe you're going to have a meeting with your manager, a quarterly development session, an onboarding session, something like that. It's nice to just have a couple thoughts. Well, I gave this an 8 because here's what I agreed with, here's what I didn't agree with. So be ready to have a little conversation around those 3 paragraphs. All right. Next, we have what's called value to the organization. Some Style Insights reports may say value to the team if it's a team building report. But in essence, we have a bullet list here, and I want you to pick your top 3, right? Just rank them 1, 2, and 3. And the thought starter question is, how do you want to be remembered? So how do you want to be remembered as a teammate or as a leader? How do you want to be remembered? When someone walks out of your office from a meeting with you, how do you want to be remembered? And so for me, my number 1 on here, I want to be seen as optimistic and enthusiastic. I want to be known as being self-reliant, and I'm bottom line oriented. Those fit me really well. So pick your top 3 on there, how you want to be remembered. These are all very positive statements, by the way. Next up, checklist for communicating. So these next 2 pages, this is now exercise number 3 of 6. You're going to be ranking your top 3 ways you like to be communicated with. So for me, my number 1 was provide ideas for implementing action. I like when people do that. I say you can come complain about anything you want. Just give me an idea for some action. How could we fix it? Also, leave time for relating, socializing, and then do deal with details in writing. Have me commit to modes of action. So those 3 fit me pretty well off this list. Now you'll see everybody has a bigger list here. Your list is custom to the way you answered, right? These are not all the same. You have your own unique list. check off your own unique top 3 ways you do like to be communicated with. We say these open your communication door, or these actually give you some positive energy in communication. The next page is called the don'ts for communicating, ways not to communicate. What I want you to do here is check off the top 3 things you don't like people to do to you. So, for instance, for me, don't legislate or muffle, don't over control the conversation. My number 2 was don't leave decisions hanging in the air. And number 3 was don't ramble, something I'm trying not to do on this video, right? As I roll this out quickly. My tip here is I would always, as you're reading these, put the word don't in front of them. All right. Put the word don't in front of the statements. Now, these are your golden rules for communication, these last 2 pages. So just remember that. These are how you like to be communicated with, right? Next exercise number 5, called the ideal environment page. So when you find this particular page in your report, what I want you to do here is check off the top 3 things you enjoy most in your job. So for me, freedom to try new approaches, work tasks that change from time to time, and needs difficult assignments. Those were my top 3 off of this list. And then the question becomes, what percentage of my workday do I get to do the things I enjoy most? So if you're looking down this list and you're checking things off that you like to do, but you put that 0% of my workday, you're doing things you don't enjoy doing that you've identified. All right. So a good place to really look and see, am I doing what I enjoy doing? Finally, last assignment that we're going to have that I will give, and the reason I'm giving you these particular assignments is because these six pages or six areas of information are the same across almost all the Style Insights reports. So this last one, let's look at what's called areas for improvement. What are your top 3 things on here you agree with that you might be willing to work on? So what do I agree with here? So for me, my number 1 was Ryan has a tendency to be optimistic regarding possible results of his projects or the potential of his people. And then that can be a problem. All right. And so do I want to work on that, or am I good with that? Is that an area for improvement for me, or I feel good about that right now? And so I know there are some things on here that may be areas for improvement. Maybe you've already conquered these. What I'm trying to find here is maybe one willing to work on. What could I improve upon in the next 60 to 90 days, right? What could I get from this report that I could go do? Okay, now last thing as I wrap this up. This is the last of these short assignments that I want you to do. So again, you're preparing for a workshop, a team building session, something where you'll be having some conversation around answering why you did what you did. In addition, your report may have some other lists in here. I may not have covered all the bullet lists that we had. If you have a bullet list that's in your Style Insights report and you need to know what to do with it, what did we just do on these? Rank them 1, 2, 3. So read the instructions or the description at the top of the page, rank your top 1, 2, or 3, and then you will be prepared for any of the conversations when someone says, why did you do what you do? All right. Well, I hope you enjoy your upcoming debrief team building session, development session. And remember, know yourself. Others aren't all like you. What adaptations can you make to get better results from others? All right. I'll let you go. Have a good day. Thanks.